and welcome to the Autumn 2025 series of the Respectfully podcast. I'm Nikki Pope, your host for this hairdressing conversation. My guest today is Jerome Wilson, the Education Manager for Great Lengths. We'll be talking about the ongoing love affair between consumer and hair extensions, whether for thinning hair to add volume and length or to deliver the full-on mermaid waves which are so popular. We have come to adore hair extensions. They are having a wow moment. Or are they? Is this a craze that will fade away, or is it a vibe that is going to grow and really give us something new to get our teeth into in the hairdressing industry? Let's find out with a conversation between me and Jerome. Jerome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's lovely to see you, and I'm very excited to have this conversation because I think that hair extensions are something that 10 years, 15 years ago, I wouldn't really be very focused on. I wouldn't be aware of them. And perhaps in the UK, arguably, there was still a lot of conversation about were people wearing them or weren't, particularly with the sort of long, wavy hair coming in. But now it's like out and proud.
It's very much so. I think with hair extensions, there's so many myths around it. And in the last, I'd say 5 years, consumers, our customers have really engaged with extensions, but on a very different level. It's more a case of like women have concerns, it might be hair thinning, and really just want to have natural looks. And it's really, and for us at Great Lengths, who I work with, it's really changed our business, and it's also changed how women actually perceive extensions.
I think so. It's not like a shameful secret anymore. You are a practicing hairdresser
Yes, yes,
and
I
now
am.
an
Yes,
educator.
an
So you're
educator.
aware of lots of sort of colorist and hair cutting and so on. So hair extensions, do you think there's a regional variation in how people use them? Or do you think it's an age variation? Do you think it's the younger girls are going for the wow, Sabrina Carpenter look, and perhaps older people are seeing them in a different way? Or is that too general to say that?
It definitely depends on regional factors or even just age. If you're looking at the younger market, this is what we would normally refer to as mermaid looks.
Yes.
So this would be for long hair, beachy waves, all those things. Then you also have the occasion client. So this might be a bride getting married and
Yeah.
she really wants to have that length, or she wants to have that volume, or even what's really great with extensions with occasion hair is that if you've got these beautiful Hollywood glamour waves, it tend to last so much longer than your natural hair.
Yeah.
But what we've seen, and I'd say since COVID, is where hair concerns. So this might be an older demographic where we're looking at just something that carries over, like temporary hair loss. It might be permanent hair loss too, or even just a confident booster too.
Yeah.
So it's very varied. And then also, if you look at cities like in London, might be very different to what the needs are of someone that might be in the Manchester area. So it's very, very flexible and very different. Yes.
Yeah. And do you think, from a sort of trade perspective, are there salons who fully commit to saying we offer an extension service and still salons that like, oh no, we don't know how to do that? Or are they sort of a bit more blended now? Yeah.
Well, very much. We at Great Lengths are actually looking at breaking those myths because you have salons that fully commit. We've got extensionists who've been using extensions for so many years, and it's their primary income
Yeah.
where they really make so much ladies happy, but it's also a really great source of income. Um, the myths around hair extensions really comes down to, is it going to thin my hair
Yeah.
further? Am
Yeah.
I going to have hair loss? And those are things and myths that we're trying to unbreak. And it all comes down to expertise, and it all comes down to how the hair is fitted or even the actual method.
Yeah.
So with our method, we tend to use a method that kind of puts less traction on the hair, and because of that, you actually see much growth with it. I can also tell you and share with you, we've had customers who've had chemotherapy, and we would always recommend that a year after stopping chemo, you can actually have our bonds fitted. So these are keratin bonds,
Yeah.
and they're man-made keratin bonds, and they act like natural keratin as well. So it expands when the hair's wet and it contracts when the hair's dry. And because of that, it is actually much more kinder on the hair. So all those things are the myths that hairdressers have, and that's what we're trying
Yeah.
to
So we
break.
need to get actually that's an interesting point you make there. Do you find that consumers are sometimes better informed than the hairdressers?
Well, with social media,
Yeah, exactly. So people will come in saying what they want. Okay, so there's so much there to unravel. Tell us a bit about why it's important, what type of hair is used, and then we can talk a bit about the bonding or the way they're fixed.
okay. Within the extension area, it's so unregulated.
Right,
So when you're actually choosing a brand, be very much aware of, even if it says 100% human hair, it doesn't necessarily mean that every hair in that bunch is human. It could be synthetic. It
right.
could even be yuck hair. What's very great about our brand, Great Lengths, is that we can actually source. And it's so important to source the hair from its origin. And we use temples in India. And what's also really great about this is that it's all human hair, but we're also giving back to the community. Great Lengths, as well, is the only extension brand that's B Corp certified too.
Yeah.
And because of that status, we're very confident in the fact that we can say that we are 100% human hair. And when you use 100% human hair, also there needs to be so much respect and integrity when you even work with the hair. Even when we get the hair from our donors within in India. So what most Hindu, Sikh families would do, they'd go to their temples and they'd offer their hair up to the deities. And this is a great sacrifice, really. And it's them sacrificing the hair for better health, for prosperity, whatever that reason may be. So also the temples is the focal point of the community, and the temples is there to feed the community, make sure the community is safe. If you can imagine, people would also pilgrimage to these temples, and they need to be housed and fed. So Great Lengths has a contract with the temples, so
Yeah.
we don't pay anybody to donate the hair. We only have a contract with the temples, and
Oh,
that
right.
hair is
Okay.
what we use, and that gets sent to Italy where it's processed. And
Right.
even with that, the respect that's taken into account there as well. Everything is handcrafted, and when you walk through the factory, it's really great and respectful how that is also done. But for us as well, it's important that the hair takes a really good full circle. So it's sourced in India, it's handcrafted in Italy, it's then fitted and worn by women for whatever reason they want. And when you are done with the hair, because the hair will only have X amount of lifespan, we actually also have an affiliation or a partnership with the Little Princess Trust.
Oh, the
And then
charity
so,
that
yeah,
makes, yeah, so
that
they make
makes
wigs for younger
younger
people, children suffering
children,
hair
yes,
loss.
suffering hair loss. Um, and that is the most beautiful full circle moment of the hair, where someone has sacrificed the
Yeah,
hair, but it actually ends up giving a young person the
yeah,
most
a gift.
amazing confidence as well.
Yeah. How important then is it, or what's the difference in having human hair over synthetic hair? Because synthetic hair might be what, lighter or cheaper? What's the,
Cheaper,
yeah, that's
cheaper.
really a cost thing, is
Um,
it? Yeah.
it's a cost thing. Also, synthetic hair obviously would have a burden on the environment
Yeah, sure.
as well. So from that point of view, but also you're very limited with how you can style it.
Right.
What also happens with synthetic hair is that most of it will be coated in silicone too. So when you first get it, it's all lovely and shiny. But then it just, once the silicone wears off, the hair becomes unmanageable. Just imagine, I mean, I used to play with my sister's Barbie doll. So
Yeah.
imagine you've got this Barbie doll and it's all lovely and new, this hair, and
Yeah.
then after a few brushes, it just becomes unruly
Oh, it's matted,
and
isn't it?
matted.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's exactly what synthetic hair
Yeah.
would
Great
become.
analogy. Tell me about the different ways that you can place them in the hair then.
So
What might a hairdresser need to learn?
there are many methods. Within Great Lengths, we offer three methods now. So we offer a bonded service,
Yeah.
a tape service, and newly within Europe, we offer a weft service as well. But even just the processing of the hair is what's quite unique too. Because if you can imagine, we would have Indian ladies or offering up the hair, and these are dark bases. And of
Yeah.
course, if you look in Europe, you've got lighter bases. So the hair actually gets lightened and depigmented using a osmosis process, and very gentle. So it also keeps the integrity of the hair. Once the hair is depigmented, we then repigment it. And in actual fact, this is quite weird. We actually use the same dye that's used to color your cashmere jumpers.
Right. How
And
lovely.
that might sound quite
Yeah.
weird, but if you think of it, cashmere really is a goat's hair,
Yes, a
especially
kind of hair. Yeah.
on the belly. And because of the dye is quite acidic, that's also really great for the hair too. So when it comes to the three methods, once it's been depigmented and repigmented into the different colors, we actually create 12 different shades, and those 12 shades are hand blended into over 70 different color shades, which is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing
Wow.
too.
Yeah.
Because if you look at natural hair really is not one color,
Yeah.
but it's multi-toned,
Yeah.
and that is what we
Yeah. So you don't get the
replicate.
box dye
Yes.
result.
Yes, yes. So with the bonded that we have, like I previously said, this is mimics natural keratin, and this really gets fused onto the hair itself. So we would heat up the bond and then use our fingers and just wrap it around the hair. But so important with this as well is that you really look at the placement. If your extensionist is going to put it too close to your scalp,
Mm,
that is going to cause traction, and
yeah.
that will cause hair loss. If the section is too wide, if there's more hair than in the actual bond that what there is on the hair itself, that adds weight. So
Yeah.
you want to balance that when you're applying the actual bonds. Then we have tape extensions, which is for a client who really are time poor.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have 3-4 hours to sit and have keratin bond extensions, but she wants something that's really a quick fix. Within an hour, she can have it fitted. And these tapes are really great. They will last anything between 6 to 8 weeks,
Yeah.
and you can reuse them up to 3 times as well. So really great for someone also who just wants maybe to add a bit of volume or thickness to the front of the hair
Yeah.
too. And then weft is for someone who really just wants a lot of volume in a much shorter amount of time. This really is for a younger demographic that actually really likes wefts, and for that dramatic sort of length too. This is something that, like I said, Great Lengths have only introduced since April.
Right.
In Europe, it's available. In the UK, we're looking at bringing it to a market shortly, hopefully in 2026. But it's just about looking at our market and what fits
Yeah.
our
And what's
market.
ready for the
Yes.
time. Okay. So there's a lot in there. Let's start with the hairdresser. What does a hairdresser need to do? They need training. How long does the training take, and how does that work? And do you have, for Great Lengths specifically, do you have like an accreditation? Do they need to have passed a certain level before you'll allow them to use your extensions?
We will only sell um, our extensions to certified Great Lengths certified stylists. So the first requirement is that you must be in possession of a level 2 hairdressing qualification.
Right.
This already tells us that you're confident with doing hair, you know all the theory around hair. Then we offer a 2-day fundamental training day, and this will cover everything that's got to do with keratin bonds and tapes. So on day one, we would get you to, we'll give you a mannequin, we'll give you training hair, and then you will practice the correct way of actually applying them and sort of installing them into the hair too. And this can be quite frustrating for some
Yes.
hairdressers, because it takes you out of your comfort zone a
Yeah.
little bit. But once you've mastered that, it becomes quite easier over time. Once we've done that, we then move on to the afternoon when it comes to tapes, and we'll show you how to apply the tapes. There's different methods, a sandwich, you can use a cover band, a safety band, but we also then look at removal. So
Yeah.
that's removal of the keratin bonds, removal of the tape extensions as well. And then when it comes to tape extensions, it's all about retaping them and refitting them as well. So that all gets done within day one. But prior to coming to the day one fundamental training, we would register you on our online education platform where you'll be doing all the theory. So you'll be going through the theory within your own time, do the
Right.
test, and then you have day one. We'll give you 2 weeks to practice. We give you enough hair with your mannequin to take home and keep on practicing with guidance, and there'll be feedback on day one. Then you come back on day two with a live model, and part of your training would be 100 keratin bonds
Yeah.
that you would then have to fit. And we would give you like any time between 10 till 4. So that would be fitting 100 bonds. And then we also show you how to actually cut the hair, because approaching extensions when
Yeah.
cutting it is very
Yeah.
different to just cutting natural hair too. After you've completed day two, and there'll always be two educators that would sort of like look at your work and compare notes, and then we would certify you within 2 weeks of completing day two.
So it's a 2-day training plus the theory time plus the practice time.
Yes.
So it sounds like it would be you could achieve it within a month.
A month, yes.
So, okay, great. Because I thought 2 days didn't sound quite enough time to really practice. So I'm pleased to hear that. So the 2 years, so the level 2 basic and then the training, what other investment might somebody need to make in order to become qualified? Do they need to buy equipment? How does that work?
So what we offer is a package. So when you enroll on our fundamental, this would be a package that would include everything that you need to set yourself up to do extensions. That would be the machine, the removal tools, the application tools, everything that you would need. So that package, when you leave on day two, you are set up with the machine, everything to start doing customers. We also give support after from a sales point of view. So
Yeah.
you would have a dedicated account manager who will, it's what we call a kickstart, because this is
Mm.
really going to kickstart your extension business. And we'll talk about pricing, how to price. What you can do to grow your business. We also work with our marketing team as far as social media assets to promote yourself. The sales team will also look at maybe a promotional evening in your salon if you want to promote it and start the actual
Like
service
kind
too.
of launch.
So yes,
Mm.
so it's not just about, training you, it's
Yeah.
really the support afterwards that we also give.
Yeah. So what's often the stumbling block or the reason people don't do it? Is it financial? Is it because they think, "Oh, my clients won't pay for that?" How do you tackle that?
Um, Firstly, we always tend to look at salons that inquire about stocking great lengths. The one thing we'll do is look at the area. We don't want to oversaturate the area because that can cannibalize your business or someone else's business too.
Yeah.
So it's about looking at the right fit for the right salon and the right area. We also would have discussions, and if we feel that your clientele would not really not that it suits us, but is not really the right clientele in your area for extensions, because it is actually really expensive. So
Mm.
there's two sides to it. It's the cost for the stylist or the extensionist to be of setting it all up, and that can be anything between 2,500 to £3,500. So that's a large investment
Yeah.
too. And then, of course, it's the average cost of for the customer. What is quite unique, on the other hand, is the customer actually would be going into the salon, have a consultation. So all the costs are upfront for a customer. However, I have to admit that in recent years, customers are quite aware that extensions are expensive
Yeah.
and that when they actually have it done, they're expecting a higher price tag as well. But we also work alongside with our training is how do we cost so that
Mm.
you as the stylist are not shortchanged,
Yeah.
but also that you bring great value to your customers too.
Yeah. So would you encourage people to say to a client, this is the cost of the hair and this is the cost of the service?
Yes,
Is it
yes,
set out quite
yes.
clearly like that so they
This is
understand?
something transparency is so important. And that's exactly why a consultation, we also provide salons with a consultation sheet where everything is very much explained. And what's important as well, it's great to be able to afford the fitting of the extensions, but the maintenance of it is much more expensive. If you've
Mm.
invested in that hair, you want to make sure that that hair is maintained really well. So we also encourage our extensionists to use our hair warranty system.
Yeah.
So this would be a care package that your customer would use, and we would warranty and guarantee the hair so that the hair really is within its best state over X amount of time.
So it
Yes,
lives its maximum
yes, yes,
usage.
yeah.
Um, so for an investment of say between 2.5 and 3.5 thousand, what might one person, how long might it take to recoup that? And I know that's obviously going to be difficult and it's going to depend on region and so on, but what would you estimate? Is it months?
I would say, depending on how serious the new extensionist is about doing it, on average, I would say that most hairdressers would have an hourly rate. I would never look at the cost of the hair because remember, that is the cost to the customer,
Right.
but rather look at your hourly rate and what you charge per hour and how long on average it takes to, for argument's sake, fit keratin bonds. So on average, keratin bonds will take 3 to 4 hours. So let's say for argument's sake, if you're in London and you're charging £90 an hour,
Yeah.
so 4 hours would be £360. So
Right.
that would mean that's 10 4 hour,
10 services.
yeah,
Right.
the
So you might
services.
recoup that relatively quickly,
Yes, yes.
especially if you're somebody who wasn't able to get that £90 an hour
An
throughout
hour
the day.
throughout the
Yeah.
day, yes. So it just depends on how busy you are. I can share that we have extensionists who only do extensions and they do really well.
I was going to say, tell me
And
some of your success stories. You don't have
and
to name names, but what sort
names.
of things do you see people
And
doing?
we have a customer of ours in Nottingham, and this particular customer made the decision that for their business, just focusing on extensions and giving women confidence. And this person works 2 to 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And it's actually our biggest spending customer in the UK as well.
Really? Wow.
Um,
Just working on 3 days
just
a week?
working
Wow.
on 3 days a week. But that's a business model that
Mm.
works for this particular person. Then we also have I've got some educators that work for us as well, freelance educators, and they've seen the world.
Yeah.
They've traveled. They've got customers who will only get them to fit their extensions, and if it
Yeah.
means flying them to Monaco and being there and
Right.
fitting their summer look. So there's so much opportunity out there too. We've got one customer who only focuses on bridal work, and the bridal work takes her just about everywhere around the world too. So
Fantastic.
there's so many
Yeah.
opportunities, not just being in your chair, but there's so much opportunities with traveling too.
Yeah. Yeah. Which has really brought that around. So let's talk about the B Corp.
Why this is so important for us is to really, because again, there's so many myths around extensions, and there's brands that's well, like I said, it's an unregulated
Yeah. So the claims
area.
that they make may
So
not be
might not be
true.
human hair, or even how that hair is sourced. People could be coerced into even giving their hair.
Yeah.
So for us having this certification just kind of gives our customers and our salons the confidence that our sustainability, our sourcing, our ethicality, everything around that is dealt with integrity.
Yeah. Brilliant. And I'm aware of it from having looked at it, that you have to then keep being reaccredited. So you don't, it's not just a one-off,
A one-off,
okay,
yeah.
we've got it now, we can breathe out. You have to go back every
Back.
now and then, every few years, I believe.
Yeah.
So
I mean, one of the amazing things, the processing factory in Italy, it's in Nepi, just outside of Rome. When you actually walk through the actual processing factory. What really surprised me at first was like there is no smell. So if you can imagine, we are processing, there's
yeah,
hair being depigmented, and the vents that they've actually put into it to ensure that health and safety was met.
yeah,
Also, the water. They had to close the factory for quite a while to put this system in that filters the water, so the water is even reused.
yeah,
And this is all so important in the impact that we have on the environment too. Again, because the hair is 100% human, we're very much confident that it's not going to go to landfill
yeah,
too, like synthetic hair. But then rather working with a little princess trust, we can kind of bring the hair back to its full
yeah.
cycle.
So talking about the range of products in hair extensions, there's innovation all the time, I know. What is the most exciting things that have reached you in recent times that we can share with people listening?
This year, we launched an extension to our tapes, and it's natural cut. Um, I've mentioned before that tape extensions is really great for a customer who's time poor.
Yeah,
Well, natural cut is still tapes, but this is actually a really great opportunity for your stylist that's also time poor because it's
right.
going to reduce cutting and blending. So, with our hair within great lengths, we use a term called double drawn, and that means the hair is the same thickness from roots to ends.
Yeah,
And we have that in our keratin bonds, and we also have that in our slimline tapes. But with natural cut, we've actually looked at natural hair growth. So if you look at someone's hair that grows naturally, you don't have the same length of hair all of the time, every time.
yeah,
You have different lengths of hair.
yeah.
Like I've mentioned before, you've got different colors within your hair. And what we've done is create a tape extension that actually gives you up to 13 different lengths within a tape. So it mimics natural hair.
Right, so it's not that sort of blunt
Blunt, yes.
end. All
So
right.
it blends within the hair really well too. Within natural cut, we also have two variations, and these are such lovely Italian names, Essenza and then Aria. Aria is quite unique. Aria actually got Marie Claire Best Tape Extensions for 2025.
Oh, wow.
And
Quite
this actually is
good.
for a client who might have thin hair and just wants that added bit of discretion.
Yeah,
So the hair actually travels up the tape further up, so you can really use it on the perimeter, the front of the hair, closer to the hairline, just to kind of give you that confidence that the tape would be a lot more discreet. So that's actually been quite exciting this year
uh-huh.
that we had that
Yeah.
to launch.
So it gives you more versatility, and you can really support people who are perhaps a little bit anxious or nervous about looking like
Looking,
something's been
yes,
been
yeah,
done.
yeah,
Brilliant.
brilliant.
How do you regard the color of the extensions and hair pieces that you're working with? Do you find it really isn't any different, that they've done really well with the color?
So, I mean, I've been, I hate telling people this, but I've been doing hair for over 30 years too. And
Wow.
I've been in the education side of hairdressing for over 20 years of that too. And one thing that I've noticed in the last few years is that women or men or anybody identifying as women or men have become very sensitive to color as well.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that only because with extensions, there are now options for clients or customers who actually want to have color in their hair but might have sensitivities to that. But how we process the hair too in the 70 plus shades that we have, as I've mentioned before, using the cashmere dye technique to kind of repigmentate the hair, the colors all being hand blended to give us all the large palette that we have. But one of our education courses that we're focusing on this year as well is actually chemical-free color.
Right.
So this would be something, one of the biggest color trends in the last few years has been balayage.
Yes.
And this is where we can actually offer someone a chemical-free color transformation in the form of balayage. And this is really changed people's mind on color. And it's also given people that confidence, like, sometimes the hair's too dark and they really wanted light, but don't really want to interfere with the integrity of the hair as well. So this is something that we're quite excited about,
Yeah,
and we can
definitely.
see this really taking a momentum of
Yeah.
its own too. Yes.
Brilliant. And steps for a professional listening to this thinking, right now I'm interested, where do I go from here? Obviously, in our show notes, we can put any links, but what would you say to somebody? Take a breath and decide, how do they get in touch? What do they need to expect?
So, what I would do is, asking questions, getting in contact with us with Great Links UK. So within the UK, HB Collective, who I work for, we distribute Great Links
Right. So it's
within the
HB
UK.
Collective is your point of
Is our
contact
point of
for Great
contact
Lengths
here
in the UK.
in the UK, and have a conversation with our customer service team. You'll get through our customer services team. They will then pass your number on to any of our sales team or even the education department that I head up. And we're really there to have an open conversation about what your needs are, all the costs that's involved with it, any qualifications that you might lack, but just to give you also support into, will this be the right fit for your salon and your clientele?
Yeah.
And that transparency is something that we really proud of,
Yeah.
and that I would say as a hairdresser that I would advise.
Brilliant. Which you've done a perfect job of bringing us back to where we started, which is the integrity and the openness and the conversation. It isn't for everybody, but it's going to be for a lot of people listening here. And I think
Yeah.
it's really exciting. And is for me, sitting where I do, looking at hairdressing and looking what's going on and how much the world has changed, I think this is such a good news story, that one of the ways that hairdressing and client demand has changed for the better
Yes.
is now this opportunity to work with hair extensions, which in themselves are now so much more sophisticated and technically better than they ever have been. It's really
Beautiful.
exciting.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm hooked. I'll be following this up. Thank you so much for joining me, Jerome.
Thank you
Really
so much.
appreciate
I've
it.
really enjoyed this. Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us for this edition of the Respectfully podcast. I hope you found it really interesting and learned something new. I know I did. And if you like what you heard, then do check the show notes. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, we will have lots of contacts for you in how you can reach out to HB Collective and find out more about the Great Lengths brand in the UK. We also have a library of podcasts which you can dip into, covering a whole range of hairdressing subjects. You can find us on Acast, Apple, Spotify, and watch us on YouTube. Until next time, goodbye.